I'm going to try, right, on this take, I am going to try to do the whole video in one take because I don't want to edit this. I want to make it raw and conversation and just go through it. Right, you can do this, Tim. You can do it. Ready? Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're keeping well. This video is a bit different from what you usually find on my channel because it's not about a car or a bike or a truck or a tank. It's about something really important. It's about mental health. I'm really proud to say that I have partnered with a charity called Mental Health Motorbike, and over the coming months and hopefully over the coming years I'm going to be supporting them by raising awareness of what they do and the charity itself, and hopefully helping break down some of the stigma around mental health. Now, when I started my YouTube journey, I didn't really expect it to grow that much. I thought it would be a lot of fun. I thought some people would see it, but I never expected it to ever cross, 1,000 subscribers. And last week it crossed over 5,000 subscribers. And I've always said that my work and my platforms should benefit as many people as possible. When I go and present the shows and events, I say this to everybody, but the show and event and me presenting, it's never about me. I am only the medium. I'm only the storyteller. The story is about the car or the bike or the truck or the tank. And I want my channel to be about that as well. I really want my channels and my content and the work that I do to entertain other people, and I want it to benefit as many people as possible. Now, I met Mental Health Motorbike about 18 months ago at Motorcycle Live, and I immediately felt a connection with this charity. I am quite open about mental health and will quite openly speak about mental health and my own mental health journey. Now, this isn't a sob story. I don't want anyone feeling sorry for me. If anything, I'm sharing this really personal story on a very public platform to try and break down some of the stigma around mental health. A lot of people see mental health as a generation of snowflakes that, in my day, we just got on with it, the British stiff upper lip kind of approach. And it's just simply not true. Health, be it physical or mental, is health. And you have no idea how a situation or a circumstance is impacting someone and how their mind is operating and how they're able to deal with different things. What might be very easy for me or for you to do could be incredibly difficult for the next person to do. Now, this might sound a bit, ironic for me as a presenter. A lot of people see me presenting these shows and events, they see me in front of camera and they see the happy, jolly, fun side of Tim. But social media is notoriously bad for only showing the highlights. There's probably 98% of the rest of my life off camera and not in front of an audience. But I'm quite happy to talk about mental health. I think it's an important conversation and we shouldn't feel afraid to talk about it. The idea that, back in my day we just got on with it and stiff upper lip and so forth, it's just completely outdated thinking. If anything, it makes the whole thing 10 times worse. Because from my experience, if I was struggling, if I was feeling down, which I have previously, and I'm not ashamed to say, right now I am on medication, antidepressants, and I do go to counselling. I'm investing in myself, in my mind, to try and untangle some of the things that make me think and feel and behave in certain ways. And I've put a tremendous amount of work in that, and I'm really proud of where I've come from and where I am now and how I feel in life and how I can now support other people, both family and friends around me. Certainly, it's had a tremendous impact on those closest to me. And, I want to work with Mental Health Motorbike and this mental health charity to break down some of the stigma around that. When previously, when I was feeling down, and this could be true for you, it could be completely different, but whenever I felt down, one of my triggers was I needed to feel wanted. I needed to feel like, a lot of the time I'd feel, well, it wouldn't make any difference if I wasn't here. So I would retreat away. And when you do that, the people around you don't necessarily know why you've retreated away. So they may give you space. And for me, that just helped cement the feeling of, I'm really better off not being here, that people would be better off without me because, look, I've retreated away, they haven't noticed, if anything, they look happier. And it would just build into that downward spiral. And another example is, and this really is part of the reason why I started my whole presenter journey, and why I've started my YouTube channel, is when you've been to those very dark places and you felt truly awful, one of the biggest feelings you have is guilt, because you look around. I look around now and think I am incredibly lucky. I live in the UK. I have a beautiful wife, a stunning daughter. I've got bikes, cars, a growing YouTube channel, a great job, my health. There is nothing that I could possibly be sad about. And when I do feel sad about something, whatever it might be, it could literally just be, today I feel a bit down. I don't know why, but I just feel a little bit down. Having so much, so much around you that you should be grateful for, and I am incredibly grateful for, compounds that feeling of being down. It makes you feel guilty. And if you've ever been to those really dark places, then you know how horrible they are and how you feel. And for me, I never ever want anyone to feel like that, which is why I take so much pride in my presenting. It's why I take it very seriously, and I want everybody at one of my events to have the best day that they can possibly have. And I don't just want one person, I want everybody there, whether that's the guy who's come to the Land Rover show, or his wife, or his kids, or his grandkids, who might not be that interested in Land Rovers. I want them to feel close to that subject, engaged and entertained with it, which is why I take my presenting work so seriously. So when I met Mental Health Motorbike, it immediately struck a chord, and I thought, wow, this is a charity that, the kind of charity I've been looking for, and I have been looking for a charity to support now for about 3 years. And when I saw the work that they're doing, they're helping break down the stigma. They are trying to put a mental health first aider in every town and city across the UK. And they're doing that by subsidising mental health first aid training, which I'm going to go through myself to become a mental health first aider. Now, to do that training, you can do it, at home. I think it's 4 evenings, about 3 hours. And once you've done that, you become a mental health first aider. To do that course costs about £325. Mental Health Motorbike subsidise that training down to just £50, which makes that entry point so much more accessible. And they go to all of the events. And when I rang Paul, I met him about 18 months ago, and I rang him a few weeks ago. Something happened, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But when I rang him, I said, look, my name's Tim. We spoke at Motorcycle Live a couple of years ago. I would love to support you. I'm really sorry I haven't reached out to you. It's been 18 months. And the reason why I hadn't reached out to him was I'd had multiple family bereavements, a car crash, things I've spoken about on this channel before. And the first thing that he asked me was, are you okay, and do you need any support? And that for me just spoke volumes. Everyone has said, everyone around me has been incredibly supportive and said, that must be really hard, and how are you feeling, and so forth. But he made a point of stopping the conversation before we went any further and made sure I was absolutely 100%. And that for me was sort of a defining moment of, I really, really want to work with this charity. Now, the thing that prompted me to get back in touch with them and finally get this ball in motion was I went to a conference, and the main speaker there, he made a joke about mental health, and I was not just I don't want to say offended, but I was absolutely uncomfortable. I've never been uncomfortable at work, ever. But here I was in a room with about 120 people, and he was talking about trying to get hold of his account manager, and he couldn't get hold of him or her because they were on a mental health first aid training course. And he said, oh, good, because I need a mental health first aid because I'm having a mental health crisis now. I can't get hold of him. To which the room laughed. And I thought, well, that's not very funny. And then shortly after, he introduced another speaker, and that speaker came on. He was talking about AI. And he said, the great thing about AI is it never goes on holiday, it never goes to sleep, it never has a mental health breakdown. And the room laughed again. I thought, no, this is wrong. It's not a funny subject. People's health, whether it's personal or physical, is incredibly personal, and we can never understand what somebody is going through. The world now is an incredibly noisy, incredibly competitive place. There's a lot of things that we as basic humans are being pressured on, whether it's space, time, finance, all of these things are incredibly stressful and putting pressure on us. And now, over the last 15 years, the mobile phone's taken over our lives, and we are constantly reminded, bombarded with information and how other people are potentially doing better than us. And it's, our mobile phones are separating us, and we're not meant to be separated. But they're also very beneficial, because I'm guessing, but chances are you're probably watching this on your phone now. So going forward, I'm going to be supporting Mental Health Motorbike. You'll see little captions and banner ads and so forth for them in my videos going forward. And you'll also notice that my new shirts this year proudly have their logo on my chest. Now, I'm going to do the mental health first aid training. I'm going to do a video about that and let you know. There's links to Mental Health Motorbike in the description below. And if anybody at any of my events sees me and wants to come and talk to me, I am completely open to that. Obviously, if I'm in the middle of presenting something, you may have to wait a minute or two. But my whole brand, the Our Tim brand, the reason why I'm called Our Tim is I started out in radio, and it was my nickname in the radio station, which ended up on air. And everybody knew me as Our Tim. And when they recognised my voice when I was out at events and so forth, people would call me Our Tim. And that brand is there to be incredibly warm, incredibly welcoming. It's not meant to distance me from any of my audience. I want to be right next to you, which hopefully you see and feel in the content that I publish. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video and you understand why I am supporting this charity and how I'm supporting them with greater awareness. And if you want to support them too, there's multiple ways of doing it. You can become a mental health first aider yourself. You can help spread the word about Mental Health Motorbike. And of course, you can donate to them as well. Have a look on their website. If you see them at an event, please do go and see them. They are possibly the warmest group of people that I have met. And I am really looking forward to seeing where this leads. And even if this video reaches one person and makes a difference to that one person, then me working with them and partnering with them has all been worth it. Coming up next is more of the usual content. There's live streams and highlights from all the shows and events that I'm doing this year, and you'll be able to find all of the details of those in the next video. So thank you very much for watching this, guys. I genuinely do hope you are keeping well, and please do have a look at Mental Health Motorbike.